All right, now we're going to talk about adding and subtracting decimals. So when we add or subtract decimals, we do have to line up that decimal point. And the reason that we line up the decimal point is so that the place values are lined up with one another. For example, if I'm doing 17 minus 5, okay, I have, in 17, I have a number in the tens place, and then I have a number in the ones place, and then in the number 5, I just have a number in the ones place. So automatically, we end up lining up decimals when we're subtracting or adding whole numbers, because the decimal is at the end of the numbers, and that's what we line up. But essentially what we're doing is we're lining up here the numbers in the ones place, okay? So the 7 and this 5 are in the ones place. We line them up there. We don't put the 5 over here under the 1, because that wouldn't be lining up our place values, okay? So we need to subtract the 1s from the 1s, the 10s from the 10s, etc. Okay? So if we come over here, we're doing 5 and 1/10 minus 3 and 25/100. So because we are taking the 4 and 1/10 and subtracting from that, that's going to go on the top here when we write out our subtraction. So 4 and 1/10 minus 3 and 25/100. So we have to line up that decimal. So the 3 is in the ones place, so I'm going to put that under the 4. My decimals line up. I have a 2 there, and then a 5 here. Now, with this problem, we have this empty place in my 4 and 1/10 that we were going to have to subtract 5 from. Since I can't just subtract 5 from nothing, I'm going to annex a 0 and put it there. And then I just subtract like I normally would. Okay, so I'm going to have to regroup. So this becomes a 0. This becomes a 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5. Okay, but then I can't do 0 minus 2, so I have to regroup and take 1 from that 4 and make this a 10. So now I have 10 minus 2 is 8, and then 3 minus 3 is 0. Then when I'm either adding or subtracting, I just bring that decimal down, and so my answer is 85/100. Okay? And we would follow the same exact steps if we were adding instead of subtracting, except we would, of course, add instead of subtract.